right, we're back once again on Gaming for Hope, Gamers Against Cancer, part of the fundraising event for the Stand Up to Cancer Foundation. Stand Up to Cancer funds and develops the newest and most promising cancer treatments to help patients today. Stand Up to Cancer innovates in connections to scientists, leads to better cancer prevention, diagnoses, and treatment, which means that we can help save lives right now. Just today, 5,200 people alone, just in the United States, will be diagnosed with cancer. Progress against one type of cancer is progress against all types of cancer. That's why we're committed to funding ambitious and robust research and awareness efforts focused on incorporating health equity in cancer care for the benefit of all patients facing cancer. 100% of your donations today will go to support Stand Up to Cancer and its collaborative cancer research programs. Coming up here on the event now, we have Chrono Trigger, a 1995 role-playing video game by Square. It originally was released in the Super NES system, or NES, or Famicom, for those that have those systems too, as far as a first entry in the Chrono series. The game's development team was kind of like a dream team. It was Hironobu Sakaguchi, which was from the Final Fantasy series, and he teamed up with Yuji Horii and Akari Toriyama. Plus there was a whole bunch of other cast of members to create a really crazy story. Basically, the game's plot is a group of adventurers that travel through time to prevent a global catastrophe. And on this game for us today is none other than DerricGNC, who you're actually playing a altered version of this. This is like Jets of Time, which is the randomizer.
That is absolutely correct. Yeah, the Jets of Time randomizer randomizes up the world, so we're going to be able to go find characters where their different characters might have been, and key items where different key items might have been. Some items remain static, like the tabs that we're going to be collecting right at the beginning. They're pretty static, but because of the way that I've done our flag set, they're going to be a lot more powerful than they were in vanilla game. So that way we're cutting out a lot of grinding, and if we use them correctly, we're actually going to be really set to go. So we're not going to have to do anything extra with that. Okay, I think, unless you have anything else you'd like to say before we get going, we are good to go on my end.
Nothing else for me. Just I'll try to answer questions, try to help understand what's going on, maybe for the people who might not know Chrono Trigger very well. Also, I'll read off donations because we want those donations coming in from you all. Be sure to check the link right in the chat or go to our page on Gaming for Hope, Gamer Against Cancer. On that page right there, you click over to the Tiltify link, and they'll get you to donate there. So,
Absolutely.
Off and running, buddy.
All right, I will give you when time is getting ready to start. We got Marl, and we've got a nice frog start, so when I exit the screen, we can go ahead and start in 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Go. Two character start.
Yeah, 2 character start, and we're going to go ahead and read off the bucket list, all right? To do this, we're going to have to get 3 characters for a total of 5. We're going to have to clear the Sunken Desert, the Factory Ruins, Pendant Trial, defeat Nizbel, Dragon Tank, or clear Ozzy's Fort, and charge the Moonstone. We have to do 4 out of the 8. So we're not having to do all 8, and once we complete those 4, we're actually good. It's immediately going to eject us to the exit screen, and we're going to say, hey, you won. Congratulations. Go have some fun. Go to bed. So I really like this because it just kind of gives you a list of things you have to go do. And if you get a list of defeat the bosses, you're in for a good time because you're going to have to go do a bunch of boss checks. Because I've also set it up so that way we have randomized bosses. So we're going to take a battle right here at the beginning just to get a little extra leveling in. We're going to learn some skills, and it's going to prep us for what's to come. So, character-wise, Frog is kind of a swordsman, so he's going to have a little bit of high attack, but he's also going to have some magic healing. And Marl, the one in white, is mostly going to be our healer. So Marl's probably going to stick around, so that way we have some extra healing throughout the run. And there will be other characters that are better with physical attack, or maybe a little bit more physical and magical sort of thing. So there's a lot of character diversity, which I really love. we're just going to take this battle because the first couple battles are going to have higher experience, and you'll see that we get a lot of experience, lots of leveling up, and there we go.
That's because in the randomizer, you actually, I'm assuming you increase the amount of XP you get per fight, I'm assuming?
No, this is the one that I don't. Because I do tabs higher, you've seen it said earlier, like power tab +9.
Yep.
It's actually going to raise that given stat by 9 points instead of the vanilla 1. I do that so we cut out some grinding and our strong characters become stronger faster. And instead of healing every turn, we can heal 300 by the time we finish the first boss. So it kind of is a lot safer. And I like running it that way and going and picking up all of these tabs and things like that to kind of give us that flexibility and diversity. And honestly, just a lot of safety. Speaking of safety, we're going to go ahead and save here.
Gotta pump those ABS brakes. Always be saving.
Exactly. Well, because we're going to actually go take our first scripted fight. We're going to go examine this item that's on the stairs, and they're going to turn into snakes. And that's, when we clear this, it's actually going to give us our first character outside of the starter characters. So we're looking for different characters. We have the options of Chrono, we have Luca, Robo, Isla, or Magus. So we're kind of looking forward. I personally always look for Isla, which is our physical powerhouse. But Magus is a good physical, but definitely gives us a lot more magic options a lot sooner, which is a lot safer. So we kind of got to balance that there.
Now, Isla is the kind of cave woman, I guess, for lack of a better descriptor.
That's actually the perfect descriptor. In vanilla comes from the era known as prehistory, or what was it called? Prehistoric in SNES days. They changed it.
Yeah, prehistoric.
For other translations, but prehistory. So she gets no magic attacks and only has physical attacks. So if they are immune to magic, Isla's the person you're going to throw in. But if they need magic, Isla's just pretty much going to be standing there, throwing out healing items, and looking real cool.
Now notice the bosses are moving around the screen. Does that change the amount of damage or technique you have to use, or is this just effect? Is this a visual effect?
It mostly affects your techniques. So some of the characters have line attacks, or areas of effect, circles, and things like that. The closer enemies get together, you could actually hit multiple enemies with, say, the move Cyclone, which hits in a circle, or Flame Toss, which hits in a straight line. So if the enemies are in a line and you target the back one, it's also going to hit the front one. So it really kind of pioneered that positional damage. We're not going to be using that a ton. It might come up, but it's never anything you have to, in my opinion, really actively have to think about and think, okay, let me make sure that I position this character in this place so we're ready for this. It's pretty much just, let's go. So we did get Magus. That's really good for us.
It's kind of awkward between him and Frog, though, if you know the actual game itself. But
well, you know what? Yes, but in vanilla, also there you can have the option. Spoilers for a nearly 30-year-old game. You're welcome, everybody.
Oh yeah, totally spoilers now. Yeah.
You can actually encounter him later in the game, and you can actually forgive him, and he'll join the party. Or you can fight him, and you lose access to that character. Which I love that idea of, you have that option of saying, you know what, the world is coming to an end, and having this animosity between us just isn't helpful. So, a couple things to explain while we did that. We traveled through time using our flying time machine, the Epoch, and then we got the gate key, which is a really great key item. It's actually going to give us magic early. So we're definitely going to be taking care of that, because that's really good to have. It's going to give us a lot of different options. And honestly, it's really safe. If we run across the boss that has absolute physical defense, but has abysmal magic defense, we're gonna be good. We went to the inn, we talked to the guy, and he was saying, hey, give me more soda, soda. And the innkeeper's like, hey, I think you had a little bit too much sugar today.
Yeah,
and then
soda, quotation marks.
Heavy eye winking. It's like the coffee shops in Earthbound, but they weren't drinking coffee.
Oh, totally, because they were kids, I mean.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So what we're doing right here is just kind of going on our power tab and our tab circuit. All the tabs are at a +9, like I said earlier. You can customize that so maybe they are a little weaker, or maybe they're a little stronger. 9 is the cap. And you can customize it to how you want, but I love this particular flag set where it's set at 9, so that way you're good to go.
I want a secret portal in my armoire. That's amazing.
The portal also goes to prehistory, so dinosaurs can come through. My youngest child would definitely love that. So you see, we went through it, we went around, we went back through it, and now we're in the place called the End of Time. This is where we're going to get magic. So we're going to go back here and talk to our favorite little frog, Specchio, the master of war. And we're going to tell him he looks strong. Because, hey, if he looks strong, that means we're strong. If he looks weak, that means we're weak. And he's going to absolutely tell us about some magic. Marl's going to get some ice magic. Frog is going to get some water magic. And he's going to look at Magus and go, I cannot help you. You are already too strong for me. We have to walk around the room 3 times, thinking the word magic. So if you have magic-based emotes, absolutely use those. Spam those. Wake up this morning. We got this.
Morning jog right here.
Yeah. And there we go. Let's talk to him. He's going to be like, hey, good. You got some magic? There's our ice. And Frog is going to learn his water spells. And then he's going to go, hey, now that you have magic, do you want to test it out? And we're going to go, no thanks. We're good. It is a fight that 9 times out of 10 we'll just lose. And we're not here for it. There we go. Let's heal up at the nice bucket and save up. We've got magic. Super early, might I add. And I am always here for that. We're going to go back to the armoire. We're going to go, hey, you've got something worse than moths in your armoire. You've got a magic portal to the prehistory and the End of Time. I think your cardigan's gone, though. It's just gone. I don't know what to tell you. Gonna get back in our time machine, and we're gonna go fly to the castle over here.
It was an alpaca anyways.
Yeah. And then we're gonna grab this last tab, and then we're gonna see about how we're gonna use this. And we'll go over that just a little bit. But we have to go back in time to the Middle Ages so we can finish up the cathedral. So earlier we opened up and did that fight there. We went to the bridge and talked to some people. We basically primed some checks. Because you have to do some story items. Let's give our magic tab to Magus here. He's going to be our magic specialist, and speed over to Marl, and then Magus for our healing. We're going to save our power tabs. Magus is strong enough as is, so not giving power tabs to anybody is going to be worth it. We're going to put a music degree to use, play the organ, and that door will open. Turns out we'd already opened it. And now we're in our first dungeon. We're going to go collect as much treasure as we can. The red katana, that's a great item for people who's not in our party right now.
Yeah, you gotta love it.
And we're just going to collect some treasures here where it's convenient and we don't have to take too many fights.
Now, can the randomizer allow you to use weapons that are not normally used by that character? Or?
I believe there might be a flag set for that. I don't know that I've done that yet. I do know there's tech randomization. So the techniques that, say, Marl could use, maybe Frog uses. And you can randomize and switch them up that way. As far as equipment, I can't answer that off the top of my head. The other one that I will probably not turn on for a very long time is healing items are randomized. So normally your tonics heal 50 health. Well, you could randomize them and they could heal 10 health.
Oh, jeez.
I don't turn that one on for marathons.
I wouldn't either.
That's one of those things where you tell your community, like, hey, we'll do this if we meet a certain goal for charity or whatnot.
Well, we do have one incentive if we meet the charity. If we get to $1,100 total raised, the person in charge of helps be in charge of the event, 10IQ, actually will be buzzing their hair. Hey. So let's get those donations up. We're only $400 away from that, so get those donations in, and maybe we'll have him film himself while he does it. It'll be awesome.
Absolutely. Hey, if it sweetens the pot, every $5 during this run, there's a cat in this game. We'll go pet the cat.
Oh, we'll pet the cat. Pet the cat. Yeah. That's another good cause. $5, pet a cat.
I'll sweeten the deal. The cat meows every time you pet the cat.
Mm-hmm. Right. Yeah, I'm used to Final Fantasy VI where you have to pet the dog. So.
Where's the dog in 6?
Oh, they're everywhere. There's like 3 or 4 different locations there's doggos.
Okay. I've wanted to learn the Worlds Collide randomizer, but Chrono stole my heart first.
Well, we do have a Worlds Collide randomizer coming up. Maybe the end of the event, Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide. It's a special Super Bowl relay. 2 teams, 6 runners. 3 runners back to back to back, live, all live. And it should be a pretty crazy event. I'll be the one in charge of actually operating it. So it should be interesting. That'll be the closing event of the night. The way we're running right now, probably be around 5 p.m. tonight. So be sure to check that out. Live racing right here on Gaming for Hope.
Absolutely. I love watching the Worlds Collide YouTube channel. It's great stuff. I turn it on and then I go to bed, listening to how Kefka's going to take over the world like 7 times a night. It's great, honestly. I love RPG randomizers. They are something special to me. Just because I played a lot of these RPGs growing up. I was absolutely a 90s kid, as 90s as you could possibly get. And growing up, I played a lot of Chrono Trigger, Final Fantasy VI, Earthbound, Secret of Mana, Illusion of God, all of the what are generally make the top 10 lists of a lot of gamers. I played them in their original cart form. And it's always something special to my heart, which really explains why I speedrun about 3 of them right now. So it's something I really love, is getting to show off all of these games for charity. Looks like our first boss randomized is Giga Gaia. If you've ever played the game vanilla, you know, hey, this looks a little weird. This doesn't look normal. That's because most of Giga Gaia is actually a background element. Just the head and the arms are the sprites. Everything else is background. Which is really cool and only visible during a randomizer when it's in a different place than it should be. And I love that.
Interesting.
It's a little dangerous here. We're gonna go ahead.
Yeah.
We should be okay with excuse me. Magus is doing 200 damage to the head. So we're actually sitting really pretty. We have 717 health to go. We should be pretty good. We're just gonna pump damage into the head.
Frog's having a hard time with this.
Yeah, no, Frog is definitely having a little hard time.
Oh, I hate enemies and bosses that heal themselves.
Yeah. It's not the greatest, but you know what? I think it's kind of fun on occasion. We're gonna take out that arm. It also is a little taper.
I'm just gonna get Frog to about half health.
Yeah. I love turning on the sight scope and boss sight scope, so that way we can look and go, hey, here's what we are, here's what our calculations are looking out to be. Let's work on that. I love giving the run by run as we say, hey, we're doing 200 damage a pop, so in a couple turns we should be good to go, and things like that. We took out the right arm that was doing the healing, so now we should be good just to keep pumping damage into the head. Only should take about 3-ish turns, depending upon my 10s and 1s math. I mostly just calculate to the hundreds. Everything after that's pocket change.
Yeah, you gotta get the mathematicals.
Yep, pretty much. Boss fights are a really good time to remember to stay hydrated.
By the way, Chad, if you have a question about this game or for the runner, be sure to ask them right in the chat here. We'll try to get to them.
Absolutely. And down goes Giga Gaia. Nice Vigil hat, Magma hands. Too bad we don't have Robo.
You're getting all these weapons for the characters you don't have.
Yeah, all of them. Just, will we sell these weapons? Absolutely not. We're an RPG runner. We're a loot goblin. We're going to keep them. Alright, we rescued the Chancellor, we rescued the Queen. Now we're going to go back to the castle, and we're going to get another character. I also do feel obligated to mention that this game is actually involved in the Archipelago the multi-randomizer.
Yep. Archipelago is amazing.
Oh, love it. Me and my community, we play Archipelago about once a week asynchronously. And I generally throw in Chrono Trigger every week.
So Archipelago, to break it down for people who don't know what Archipelago is, it's basically you play multiple different randomizers. You could be LTTP, which is Link to the Past, or Chrono Trigger, or Final Fantasy VI, or Final Fantasy IV. And the seed has built into it unlocks or items and such that's for the other game that could be playing. You compare two different games together. You compare this with the Final Fantasy VI game together, and for instance, when Derrick opened that chest up, it could have been, or the character that he got there, because I believe he got Aya, right?
Yeah, got Isla.
Instead of being Isla, it could be Celeste for Final Fantasy VI for the Final Fantasy VI game to unlock for you if you want to play by yourself, or you can play with a friend simultaneously, and they're connected together, so you can bounce rewards back and forth to each other as you're playing along. So it's a really great way to dynamically play two completely different games with your friends who might be interested in different games. So
it's really kind of cool. We play async, so we can play at our own pace and our own time. Don't have to be sitting in a Discord call if we don't absolutely want. And honestly, it lets a lot of just hanging out and playing a game that you know and love, but maybe somebody else doesn't know that game. Like I play people who play A Hat in Time or Stardew Valley, and they might not know Chrono Trigger or Earthbound. You could also... I
did not know she ran on all fours. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
You did not know that.
But you could also multi-world solo. A couple weeks ago, I did Earthbound, Link to the Past, or Link's Awakening, and Tunic, and ran all 3 games at one time on Friday night. And that was a lot of fun. So there's a lot of options. And the Archipelago mostly has a lot of the same skeleton as Jets of Time that we're playing here, except treasure chests are more random. You have key items.
Yeah, you want to be careful, though, if you do play async with a Final Fantasy VI character, you can make them very upset with you if you decide to play too far into the game, because Final Fantasy VI is based on characters in Esper's game, raises the level that you're playing against. So you could have stopped playing, be level 12, somebody else could be playing the game and feeding you stuff, and next thing you know, you're playing against level 35 bosses at level 10. So you're like, I can't play this game anymore. So then you're stuck trying to grind these little itty bitty fights for 20 minutes to try to get back to the level the other player sent it to you at. So just be careful when you do that kind of stuff, though.
It feels like kind of a cool April Fool's joke on a level. So we're doing the battle on the bridge, and all we have to do is Ozzy 3 times, that big green dude, and it clears the battle. We get full experience, full tech points. We even get some treasure for it, and it gives us a really good check here. It looks like we got the rainbow shell for that. So that's actually really good for us.
This looks like the character from Link, from Zelda. He's got the same pixel art.
Are you talking about Aghanim?
Yeah, kind of the same pixel art a little bit.
That's fair. That's fair. I can see it. For those who might have a keen eye, this absolutely is the artwork of Akira Toriyama, famous for Dragon Ball, Sandland, hashtag Sandland mentioned. A lot of people forget Sandland. Ooh, the Rust Tyranno is a pretty free check right here, honestly. All it does is just count down and say, hey, we're going to count down from 5, and you have X amount of time to beat. It does nothing else otherwise.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. So we just hammer on the button. And we do our best Sesame Street Count voice. And
I'm assuming this is one of those cases where the rest of the artwork of the body is from the actual fight from this page, yeah.
Yeah. It absolutely is. Same with Black Tyranno as well. A lot of the characters, a couple of them are swapped up just a little bit to help with sizing. There's a boss, the Guardian and the Bites, and they are replaced with different sprites if they're put in different locations, because otherwise they take up a lot of screen real estate that certain locations just can't handle. And so the coders for the randomizer did a really great job of making sure, hey, we're not going to crash the game if X boss is put in X location. I gotta hand it to people who are able to create randomizers. They are incredibly smart in being able to figure out logic chains and things like that. I've had
you mean the ones that like help develop and do the coding?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've had the immense pleasure to make a tracker for a game that was randomized, and that was hard enough. And that was just working with somebody else's tools. And that was really challenging, but a lot of fun. I can't imagine going, okay, so to get to this location, you need these items for this path, or these 3 items for this path. It's really interesting, and I'd love to be able to like pick their brain and hear how they came up with the process.
Looks like it might get its attack off here.
It looks a little tight. We're gonna go for it though. Would have been a good idea to see if Isla has text. Yes, I absolutely could have been using a text this whole time. The gift of gab has came to bite me in the butt again.
I am so sorry. I distracted you. I didn't mean to.
No, I distracted myself. Let's be real.
All right.
Anybody who's ever watched me run anything realizes, on occasion, gets a little distracted, but that is okay. We have a blast.
I think you got 5 HP. You got this.
Down to the wire. All right, so we have several different checks we can do, and I think we're gonna go for our first objective. We're gonna go for our pendant trial, but first we're gonna go to the Cursed Woods, and we're gonna get another key item. We can avoid all the fights here if we walk carefully. There we go. And let's see, Luca is at Frogsboro. We're not gonna get Luca for a little bit. We need 2 items to get Luca, but that's okay. We got the Dreamstone. Okay, we're actually sitting in a really good position. Dreamstone opens up one dungeon that I would like to avoid with everything of my being. There's just a lot of fights there, and I think it's might be a better idea to avoid it.
Yeah, there's those dungeons too, and Final Fantasy VI. Yeah, we have those too.
You look at it and go, logic says I probably should, but
yeah, unlike where like Link to the Past and like I guess right here Chrono Trigger because you had to get an item to go to a specific dungeon. Unlike that, it's character based, where depending on the character you get is where you go. So anytime you get struggle, you're like, no, why? Oh, there's a kitty cat. Oh,
yep, that's a kitty cat.
Okay, we need $5, guys. We need $5. You go back and pet that kitty.
Let's give Isla our power tabs. Isla is our powerhouse. So you see how she has 48 right next to the shield and the fist? Use all of our power tabs. She's now rolling at 128.
Yeah, I've heard that this game is feed the Isla.
Yeah, especially your power tabs, feed the Isla. Because now Isla is going to be doing... Oh, we don't have pendant. What am I thinking? We need to go the other direction for... Let's go to Hecarim's Lair, then. Yep, we're in the right area. I was looking at the wrong item and the wrong map for that. So we're going to go to Hecarim's Lair. Nice water cave. And we're going to go face up against what would normally be a very magic-dependent boss. Let's see what Isla... Oh, we're going to need to see what Isla does to these bosses. 113 standard damage. And only going to keep getting stronger.
Oh, I did get a $5. I did get a $5 dono.
Let's go pet the cat.
It says pet the kitty. It says specifically pet the kitty. I had live updates. Wasn't updating. I had to refresh it. Sorry, guys.
All right, let's hear the cat meow. We have pet the cat.
All right, there we go.
And we can keep donating towards that. We will go back and pet that cat. I did this run for a marathon last year. I think near the end of the run, we ended up sitting there petting the cat like 15 times. That cat had never gotten more pets in its life. I'd also like to point out for anybody who does try this and uses the tracker on Emo Tracker, there is a dedicated cat icon to let you know you have indeed pet the cat.
Oh, we got to get that for the doggos. We don't have that. We need to get that for doggos.
I can't imagine because I do auto tracking, so I can automatically just have everything updated for me. I don't have to keep clicking around. I cannot imagine the flags that had to be set for your Lua to read, you have indeed pet the cat.
Yeah, the interactive that you hit that pixel. Yeah.
Exactly. Take that to the next randomizer development meeting. You're like, listen.
So you're getting enough levels from... Sorry, I interrupt. So you're getting enough levels from the boss fights that you don't have to take these other fights?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
These enemies are also a lot more dependent on magic, because this is an area where the town is inhabited entirely by monsters who come from an era that needed magic to beat them. So we just go, shucks, I don't think we're going to use magic here. We have it, we're just maybe not going to use it. So we just go, no thank you. Because our Isla is doing 100 damage right now. And if you noticed, and I'll point it out in the next fight with the boss here coming up, that Isla's tech does multipliers of damage based upon our physical attack, right? Our physical attack is doing about 100. The technique she has does 3.75 times attack.
So 3,700. Okay.
300. Yeah, 3.15, excuse me. Unfortunately, Nizbel is going to be a magic-dependent boss. So everybody's just going to kind of stand around and go, cool, cool. We'll keep Marl up off the ground. And Magus is just going to look absent-mindedly, dejectedly, kind of like Piccolo from Dragon Ball. As we face down a absolutely massive dinosaur, who is, by the way, just flexing on us. boss.
Flexing Triceratops. I can get behind that.
Yeah. It's got amazing muscle definition, too. Alright. Is anybody going to need to be healed? We should be. We're just going to keep giving ice over to Nizbel. By the way, that is an objective we need to clear. So we're going to have 1 out of 4, 25% of the way there.
What's the overall objective to the whole game? Like, I know you said you have those 4 objectives. How do you actually beat the game? Is it those 4 objectives? Or does that get you to do something else?
Just the 4 objectives. So I disable all other go modes and win conditions. So as soon as we hit our 4th objective, it's immediately going to go, you won! And we're going to go straight to the credits.
Okay.
I like doing that because it's absolutely one of those, if you're playing it, you're like, okay, if you're not paying attention to your, objectives or things like that, or you don't have them written down in front of you, inevitably you'll end up beating a boss, and then you'll be like, all right, next we're going to do the, oh wait, never mind, we just finished again. And that is, to me, that is way funnier than anything else. Just because it's just humorous to go making plans and then it just goes, yeah, you won. You're like, oh, okay, well, yeah, that makes sense. I wasn't paying attention. And if you have different things, you can have different objectives. So we could have an objective, and we do, called Clear Pendant Trial. If Nizbel was the boss after Pendant Trial, then we could do a double objective clear, defeating Nizbel and Pendant Trial. And they'd be the same. So it's really great when you go from, I have 2 objectives complete, to, oh, cool, I just finished all 4 in one sitting. And I love that aspect. It is so, it's really cool to be able to clear 2 objectives at one time. The other night I ran a seed that it was basically all defeat enemies. So there was no go clear this area, it was defeat this boss, which we have boss randomizer on. So we don't exactly know where those bosses are. So we're just boss rushing everything. If it don't have a boss, we don't have time for it.
Yeah, I've had ones where you have to kill like a certain number of dragons, but the randomizer we had set up mixed the dragons in with the bosses.
Okay.
So the dragons weren't the normal dragon spots; they were randomly put with the other 30-odd bosses that are in the game. So you had to basically look for 38 different places where these things were.
Oh wow! And I love that aspect where you have to play just a little differently than like. All right, what gives me the best amount of bosses that I can do right now? We look at 300 more attack. 2 and change.
At least 2 more ice spells.
Yeah, like 2 and change depends upon our 10s and 1s. Oh, we're gonna beat it next round.
I love those ATP bars.
Yeah. We don't have haste yet. We're gonna get it though.
There we go.
There we go. Absolutely. We love to see that. Magic ring. There you go. Objective complete. Defeat Nizbel. So we have 3 more to go. We can jump in right now. And that's going to take us back over to this landmass. And we can talk to Tabin, be like, hey, you have a vortex right outside your island. And he's going to give us an item. We got the bent hilt. It's 1/2 of the items that we'll need to get if we want Luca. Any $5 donations while I'm here?
Nope.
I'm sorry,
nope.
kitty. You're not petting
No, the kitty is not loved, guys. You're not loving the kitty. You gotta love the kitty, you gotta love to stand up to cancer.
In vanilla, you can play mini games, and you can get cat food. And as you get more and more cat food, there gets to be more and more cats running around the house, which is adorable, first and foremost.
Is it Meow Mix?
I would imagine so. I was explaining to my child what the Meow Mix jingle was, and I might as well have been speaking ancient.
I love
Greek or
chicken.
something.
I let liver. Meow Mix, peas deliver. Meow, meow, meow.
Exactly.
There you go. I remember it.
So it's right up there with the Canine Advantix commercial. Talk about 90s commercials. Love them. We're going to go do the desert check. I believe I should go save first. I don't remember if I did. We're going to go take a safety save. ABS, always be saving.
Yep, always be saving. I pump those ABS brakes.
I always do the habit of saving twice, just in case. On occasion, I'll save before a check, and then in the check, I'll have a different slot to save in, just in case things go absolutely sideways. We get to the end, we get the boss and go, oh, yikes, this boss might be a little outscaled for us, because that is very possible. We got lucky that we have magic early, but if we did not have magic and we went to go battle Nizbel, we would have reset out, because Nizbel needs magic to do damage. Thank you for the good lucks. The hurricane weapon is really good. So is the star scythe. And the okay, we are cooking.
Good items. Now you're getting the items you need.
Nova armor's dope. Silver earring might be better. Alright, we're good here. Isla doesn't get any weapons. Isla just has...
Doesn't get any weapons? The box art has like her wearing club.
These hands are rated E for everyone.
Okay.
And you'll see now she's doing 300 damage on a Rolo kick.
So
this boss,
you're basically a monk, in other words.
Oh, absolutely. And with the Dream Bow, we're also doing... Everybody's doing hundreds of damage.
That's a lot of damage. Get that meme in there.
Yeah, love that meme. Alright, we can just keep on powering through here.
So is this boss's nickname MC Hammer? I mean, I'm just asking.
Yeah, a little bit. Shuffling side to side, doing the hammer shuffle. If you're getting all the references this morning, it's time to take your multi-medicine, your multivitamin, and probably, statistically speaking, your blood pressure medication.
True.
All right,
there we go.
Top half is done. This is a two-phase fight. We have top and bottom. When you finish the top, it immediately drains you of all of your... So now you can just beat up the bottom as it walks around. This is the first boss, the first game that I can think of that the enemies walk around, like you called out earlier. I can't think of another game that came previous to this that did that.
It was like a soccer move, like it just it took her like a soccer ball between the legs and did a little flip kick with it.
Yeah, exactly. All right, and clear the sunken desert is an achievement or an objective. Excuse me. Here's all of our levels. All of our magic spells. There we go.
Hey.
Complete the sunken desert. Not bad. We're not going to be able to do the second half of this check, though, because we need a robot friend that can survive for centuries.
Ah, okay.
This game has a lot of time shenanigans. So we are in the Middle Ages, 600 AD. If we go and we have the robot, we can have the robot replanting the forest. And it'll go, hey, it's going to take a long time. And then you warp to the present, and he's like, oh yeah, job's done.
By the way, shout out to the music of this game. We have a random in our randomizers. We can randomize the music, and it brings it from other RPGs like games like this one. Didn't know how many songs that I listened to from this game that I actually like from the random music.
Exactly. I gotta say, of all OSTs for games, for the most part, honestly, the SNES has so many bangers. Like, you go and watch any major like vlogger who's in the gaming sphere, you're gonna hear some Earthbound music. You might hear some Chrono music for some things. So I love that fact because it is so ingrained in our collective gaming psyche that these games are still living on, even if the people now watching those things just may not realize that that's what they're listening to. And it tells you how good SNES RPGs of the 90s were. That, 2020 and forward vloggers and gaming creators are still using the music. I love this. We're going to go behind the stained glass window, which looks amazing, by the way. And we're just going to leap through it. So we're doing the King's Trial. What that means is the King's on trial because we gave him the rainbow shell shard, and said, hey, take care of this, safeguard it in the kingdom. And he's like, yes, I will. And oops, it might have been stolen. And the king is being held on trial for, did he steal it? So we're dealing with the repercussions of that. Rolo kick out Yakro the 13th. For those who played this game, we know that we would have already faced Yakra, and he actually references that previous boss in his boss dialogue, going, oh, my ancestors warned me about this. And he didn't learn a single lesson. Gonna use Chaos, I'm pretty sure. Good, Isla's not gonna get Chaos there. Magus finally gets to flex his magic muscle, doing, near 300 damage. Isla's doing 450. We are just cruising through this boss.
Now, do the bosses scale with you as you progress through the game, or are they set?
They're pretty much set. You can have them scale. There's one flag that you can have them scale. I like having them set, so that way you can kind of. I like to keep it in a weird way. If I recommend people to do this randomizer, I'm like, hey, use these flag sets. It keeps it pretty safe, pretty consistent, pretty beginner friendly, and that's why I love showing it off in this aspect of. You could go out and you could try this afternoon, and there's going to be a slight learning curve as you learn, oh, this boss absolutely is magic dependent, but once you get through that, you're good to go and make it harder for yourself if you choose. And there are other game modes, so there's Ice Age, which you have to go beat a different end game condition, Legacy of Cyrus, and there's different modes in which you complete the game. So there's a lot of different options you can go with, and I really love that about randomizers when we have that. Hey, do you want to do a boss hunt? Do you want to go do There's one where you have to go clear what's called Legacy of Cyrus. You have to clear out this mausoleum and lay the Grand Leone, this end game weapon at the grave, and go, hey, paying tribute to Frog's mentor in the vanilla story. So it's really cool that way. And down goes Yakra.
Yeah, and down goes Magus, unfortunately, too.
Yeah, that's okay, though. It will be okay. We learned Cat Attack, which is going to do way more damage. Alright, so here's the question. Do we save the Chancellor or not? It makes no difference, but, whether we want to be good people or not. we're going to go down to the basement, though, in the meantime. Because turns out, the shell that they said was stolen this entire time, yeah, it's just in the basement. It was just there, much like everyone's basement. Just tucked away behind some boxes, some things you thought you long lost. Aeon suit and power seal, not bad. Vedic blade, good weapons for other people.
And no two characters, I'm assuming, uses the same weapons either, huh?
No, believe it or not. Kaiser Arm, Lapis. I'm gonna examine the stone. There we go. Robo's ribbon, we'll take it. You don't need it, though. It is an ancillary super equipment for Robo, but you're lacking our robot friend. So we're just gonna bounce. You're like, great, thank you, see you. We're out of here. We're outie 5,000.
Running.
I'd like to point out, Isla's on all fours, Marl is just running, and Magus is just hovering.
And he's doing that Superman kind of thing.
It's like, no, I got this. I'll keep up. And we love to see it happen. Alright, we're back in prehistory. We're going to heal. We're going to drink some amazing... It sounds like a great drink. Just like a red liquid. The sweet water. And we gain full HP and MP. I imagine that's a really good soup.
If it's just a red liquid, I'd call it a Shirley Temple.
That's fair. I'd go... I don't know. And sweet. That could work.
Yeah, it could work. Or it could be Kool-Aid Man, you know? Oh, yeah.
Hey, we have Pepsi Man. Can we get Kool-Aid Man game?
Oh, yeah. Just don't have him busting through the wall behind you, though.
Yeah. That would be really awkward.
Just a little bit.
Right? We can run from just about everything here. Like I said, at this point, we're done with, for the most part, most random encounters. The ones that we have to take, we're gonna take, just so we can have that EXP, but if we don't have to fight these here, we're... Weirdly enough, I choose not to face them here, but I will other places. Just because this is just a quick enough area. It's like, alright, we're just gonna get out of here. There's no boss here. We're doing a character check. So we're actually looking at a really good time, because we're going to get, that'll be our 5th character. So we'll have another objective complete.
Well, you're looking specifically for Robo, though, right?
Not specifically. Robo's the most useful. It will give us access for more checks, specifically just one. That being the second half of Fiona. And that's Chrono. Chrono is fine. Chrono's just going to go hang out at the end of time. We're not going to use Chrono. We're going to respectfully go, thank you, no thank you. There's our 5 characters. So, those who might be joining late, we'll go and check out our objective. We'll talk about what we can do here. So they're dropped in our inventory as items. Let's get our power tabs out to Isla. Why don't we give our speed tabs to Isla as well? We have one objective remaining, all right? We've got our factory ruins. We do not have access to this. We do not have our pendant, so we cannot go to the future. Pendant trial, see above. Dragon tank, that's a random encounter somewhere. Ozzy's fort, I can technically do that, but to do that, that is a 2 boss fight followed by a 3 boss fight, so a total of 5 bosses right there.
Okay.
So that one's a little bit like, Ozzy's fort, not great. Can do it at the beginning, but you know, once again, not great. Charge the Moonstone. I do not have the Moonstone, so I cannot charge it. So really what we're kind of looking for is just getting some progression items. So we have a couple options. we are going to go and do some of the quick checks. Actually, we're going to stay here. We're going to go to the forest lair, the reptile lair, and go the correct direction.
Yeah, you gotta love those walk up to go in and walk down actually when you get into it.
Yeah, it's great when you go in the desert. You walk in, you have to walk up to go down the whirlpool. In here, you walk in the door and then you have to walk down the door. Yeah. So it's great, and you have to remember that.
The worst control of all time that I've ever run into was actually Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, just the one that just came out.
I mean, that explains a lot,
because
honestly.
There's one spot in the game where you have to fly your dinosaur Pokemon there, get a Chrono Rhydon, and you know how on a joystick you're supposed to how you fly a plane? You pull back, you go up, you go forward, you go down.
Yeah.
It's backwards.
Gotta love it.
Push forward, your Rhydon goes up. You pull back, your Rhydon goes down. It's like, why is this a thing?
That's really weird.
And it's a trial. Like, you have to fly through these hoops and up and down through these hoops, and you're like, everything's backwards.
What you're saying is you do that trial twice. The first time you immediately nosedive into the ground.
Exactly. It's exactly what happened. Oh, this guy does not want to move out of the way. There he goes.
Yeah, you can just walk around him, kind of like, all right. Just gonna scooch on past you. You drop the Midwestern whoop as you walk by.
So it looks like you have to take some fights here that might be blocking your path here. Yeah.
Some of them you just can't run from. And these enemies in Era specifically need lightning to lower their defense. This is the same era that Nizbel was from. So if you had electric magic, which lightning is, you can absolutely lower their defense by using magic against them, specifically lightning. And then your physical attackers can attack.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it's one of those, like, kind of, awkward, but magic just does the attack. Just for, okay, this is mutant. Just for event organization, let the next runners know we are only one objective away. That could be 10 minutes from now. That could be 20 minutes from now.
Well, certainly not 5 minutes. We're actually in the waiting room. They're not there, so
just wanted to let you know. Just wanted to let you know that, hey, just in case. Hate to ping him and be like, run. I think we've all had that on occasion. You're like, all right, I'm chilling. I'm waiting for my marathon run. And you're like, oh no. I did this run for one marathon and set an hour and a half. Time was already 30 minutes in. I knew how I would beat the game. And I was like, oh no, that was the Akira Toriyama Memorial. And I was like, oh no, I'm an hour above estimate. This is not great. So it's like, well, we're here to. It was shortly after Akira Toriyama's passing. It was kind of held, kind of like to honor and memorialize their work. So I was like, well, let's go walk around and show some of my favorite locations and things like that. So kind of like buying some time a little bit. But it was really kind of a celebration. Really kind of to be able to celebrate such an amazing game. Such amazing artwork by somebody who I would argue is so formative for those of us who grew up in the 90s watching Dragon Ball or playing this game or reading manga. And it's even moving forward to today's where so many manga artists were so influenced by Akira Toriyama's work. And I love that. My kiddo will walk up behind me and go, hey, you're playing Chrono Trigger. I'm like, yep. She's like, I'm going to play that one. Yes, you will. You will, child.
I am trying to get mine to play like Final Fantasy 6 and such. They're like, I don't know. Like, I don't want to play the randomized. Just play the actual whole story vanilla, you know?
Oh yeah. I think the older I get, the more I appreciate the storyline of like Final Fantasy VI, Chrono Trigger, Breath of Fire that I ran last night. That it changes as you get older. It's just so cool to go over those games and go, oh, that's so cool. Like this game, Chrono. We're probably not going to see the character, but in vanilla, there are several different icons and ideas that Chrono Trigger was very progressive at the time. Isla, when you first meet her, goes, "Hey, I don't, man, woman, I don't care as long as you're strong." And it's like, go off, I go off. I love it. Flea is a character that is representative, looks and sprited as a to look very femme, but says, no, I'm a man. And this character has a long pink ponytail. All the artwork is of them wearing what looks to be a dress, and it's like, this is in the 90s, and I never got that growing up. And then going back and playing it now, I'm like, oh, this was in a game that I grew up with. I love this. By the way, we got the broken sword, so we have both halves of the swords, so we can go get Luca at Frogborough. But I love that sort of thing in games from the 90s where like it was something that they intentionally put there with a lot of meaning and purpose. And to me, that is really cool to me. So, we are reforging the sword of the broken hilt, the bent sword. We're putting it all together, and then we can go recruit Luca. By the way, one of the things I love about this randomizer specifically is we have an option to reduce flashes. Anybody who's played a 90s game knows,
yes,
boy, they did not care for your eyes.
No, did not care for epilepsy either, apparently. I mean, it was horrible.
Yeah, so there's an option here, reduce flashes, which I always turn on. I am not super susceptible to it, but boy, when you play this game in a dark room and all of a sudden your screen starts flashing, you're like, I'm gonna go stare at something else for a little while. My eyes hurt a bit. I've been flashbanged here. All right, there's Luca, not a objective, but we gotta pick up our favorite character, Luca, the tech genius, who apparently wants a sword. Let's be real, who doesn't want a sword?
I mean, it could be one of those like electronic knives you use for like carving the turkey. You never know.
I could see Luca wielding that. Yeah, no.
Yeah, definitely.
It's the chainsaw. It's the chainsword from the Warhammer universe. For those who are aware. Ooh, or this is going to be a deep, reference. Is it the sword from the Edge of Tomorrow, Live, Die, Repeat, or the Live Alive comic where they reset time?
I would not know that one. That's too deep for me.
Okay, quick, let's go Battle Angel Alita. I feel like that could work. So now we're at the Denadero Mountains. Isla's doing 700 damage right now. I'd like us all to reflect on that. Isla is doing end game level damage. So we're just gonna take that and accept it and go, all right, neat. We're gonna keep trucking on through the game. This guy, normally you have to use fire, but we're doing enough damage. It's like 2 turns, we're fine. We're not gonna use them. It's right. We're just gonna move on.
The Dark Saber.
It's a great weapon. It's even better sounding.
Yeah, there's got my name in it. I'm just saying.
Oh wait, who do we have that can equip it? We have enough people that can equip weapons. I think Darksaber is Chrono. We're not using Chrono, but Chrono has the Darksaber. We've done it.
Now Chrono. Now here's the thing. I want to ask, because the 3 characters you have in your party, Chrono being the titular character for really, because he is the face of the game.
Yeah.
He's actually not the best character.
In my opinion, the way I run it, no. So the way I run it is, I mean, I could absolutely swap out Chrono for.
I'm not asking you to do it now. I'm just asking in general when you play the game.
It ultimately comes down to kind of who you get early on. Because if you'll note, our levels are a little bit. Look, the damage that he would be doing is 67. Marl we kind of need for the healing. Isla's way more physical prowess, and Magus just has
better some tabs and stuff. I mean, you gave her steroids practically.
Performing enhancing materials.
Yeah,
it kind of ultimately kind of depends on how the early game is. For me, it ultimately comes down to who you get at the cathedral and who you get at the castle early on. That kind of sets the tone for what kind of team are you going to be running. Because every other character is behind a different time era that requires several different checks. So you've not developed them with tabs and things like that, and developing their techniques. So if we got Chrono early, we probably would swap Magus out for Chrono. Isla always goes in. I typically, as of late, generally keep Marl in, or if we had Robo would come in. They are kind of our healers. Isla's not great physically. I know we've been having her attack, but that's just because she's doing enough damage right now. That is kind of offsetting it. But normally she'd have re-raise with 3 for those Final Fantasy players. She's got our ice magic early. She's got haste, which is really cool and awesome. We could haste up Isla, and she's attacking like 2 times as much as anybody else, and it doing 700 damage a pop. It's kind of just no-brainer to do 1,400 damage basically every turn.
Right on.
So it kind of just depends on how your early games will unfold.
Well, I want to say a shout out to the 100 people that we got watching now. Be sure to donate right here on Gaming for Hope, Gamers Against Cancer, part of the Stand Up to Cancer Marathon. Stand Up to Cancer's mission is to raise funds to accelerate the pace of groundbreaking translational research that can get new therapies to patients quickly and save lives right now. Stand Up to Cancer has set out to generate awareness, educate the public on cancer prevention, and help more people diagnosed with cancer become long-term survivors. Be sure to click the link to donate. The page gets you over to the Tiltify page, and I will read off your donations, especially if you give $5. We have to go pet the kitty here in this current game that we're playing right now, Chrono Trigger. Mm-hmm. So please get in the donate now, please.
Don't wait. We could end the seed, honestly, at this next boss. If we get the dragon tank. Yeah, it could happen. That's what I love. It's kind of one of those, hey, don't linger, don't think about it, go do. Because it could end at any moment. We've bugged this guy enough, he's going to give us a magic tab to go away. But he's saying, hey, these mountains are nice, and this is life, and I will agree. Just take a look at that vista. It is a beautiful vista.
As I look out over this magnificent vista...
Exactly.
Reference to by the way, reference to West Wing, the TV series, by the way.
Okay. I've not watched West Wing. It's one of those shows I want to watch, but I feel like I have to be in one of those moods to watch West Wing.
There's certain episodes I do skip on that one, but it's overall I like it.
What do we got going on here? We have to face the separate Masa and Mune fight, but apart, they are powerless. They must.
Oh, this is my sword.
No, it's mine. Oh no, not my sword.
Twins.
Yep. Gotta love the twins representation in game. You got
Masa and Mune.
Masa and Mune, exactly. There's our 1,000.
Wow.
Isla is a monster. As a twin, I loved this character. That and Edgar and Sabin from Final Fantasy VI. Who do we have here? We have... Okay, Lavo Spawn. Once again, there we go. I was like, once again... We're gonna go ahead and haste Isla. 1,000 damage. Only has 3,000 damage, so 3 turns. And barely doing any damage to us. We do not attack the shell. If you attack the shell, you'll die.
That's basically like Welk.
Yeah. There's a lot of crossover in this.
Well, I mean, like I said, the developers of the game did come over. One of them came over from Final Fantasy, so the series. So
yeah.
Actually, you need 2 turns. 2 turns this thing's done, right?
Just
low hit there.
Yeah. And the shell dies too. Everybody gets some power boosting. Frenzy Band is okay. What are we gonna get? The most useful item would be the pendant.
Yeah, just sort of find out what it is.
Yeah. We pull the sword out of the ground and we're like, oh, weird, where did the hilt go? We have a pendant in our hands.
Dramatic effect.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, we did get the pendant.
Hey,
okay.
there you go.
We are on our go mode approach. We only have 1 dungeon left. I will put down a save before we go in that dungeon. If you're going to donate towards petting the cat, do so now. If
or
we
forever hold your money.
if we get donations while we are in the dungeon, after we get the U1 screen, I will go ahead and reset so we can pet the cat.
Nothing yet.
But just letting everybody know, I will place it down right here. We'll go walk past the cat because I'm going to go heal. There's the kitty. It does meow when you push the button. We're going to snooze here. And then we are going to go clear the game. So, let's put down a nice save. Helps by a save. I'll also put down a quick save just in case things go sideways here. And let's go clear the pendant trial. We're suspected of stealing that royal pendant that was at the mountaintops. So they take Isla away. I don't know. I think Isla is going to be fine. As we're walking across the catwalks. Once again, great vistas here. Great background sprite work. Love to see it happen. A lot of time, effort, and talent went into making this game as gorgeous as it is for its time. I would argue that it's still a really good-looking game, even to this day. Just look at all the details, the clocks on the sound effects in this game.
Brutality.
We're gonna knock on the doors and gonna be like, "Hey, pipe down." We're just not gonna do it.
I said, knock it off.
One of my favorite works of art for this game. There was a person on YouTube who made Chrono Trigger the musical, and so almost all the music in this game, they put words to it, and it's really good. Highly recommend it. And now we're just gonna go blitzing through this dungeon. We will make 600 damage.
Okay.
We are gonna make a quick pit stop. There's a clear that I would be remiss if I didn't do. Based upon one of the community members from the Jets of Time. I believe they ran Chrono earlier this week. 1 free fits. Yep. We are in fact gonna go free fits.
Woo!
So shout out to them. They have run some Chrono Trigger. I think they ran it earlier in the marathon, correct? I know.
Yeah, Fitz did a run earlier. I believe it was.
Any percent?
Here, let me go back to the times before here.
Quick, get in the epoch, Shinji. Or was it New Game Plus? It might have been that. Either way.
I know Numbers did Metroid. I know that. A couple of both of those are in the Worlds Collide community.
Okay.
I don't see Fitz's in here. Why am I can't find him.
Regardless, we're gonna go save Fitz though. Whenever you do the jail, you gotta save Fitz just for the community. Open it up and go, hey, get out, save him, and that is one free Fitz. Please, Fritz. Excuse me. In the game, it's Fritz, but it's one free Fitz.
Yeah,
the runner.
There we did have a donation drive for Worlds Collide later on today, where you have to save or kill Sid. One of the runners' name is Sid. We're not saving and killing him. It's actually the character in the game. Okay.
Love it. What's coming up next, by the way?
Coming up next is Pokemon Red by Shifty, hosted by Sub Charlie. They'll be doing a any percent glitchless blindfolded run of Pokemon Red. So this should be interesting.
Okay, I hadn't heard the blindfolded app. That's cool.
Yeah.
I will probably have to catch the VOD of it. I was up very late last night doing Breath of Fire and then hosting like 3 in the morning.
Yeah.
So I'm going to probably log off this and go absolutely pass out. But honestly, I love the sense of being tired from doing such amazing community work, like being able to participate in this marathon or hosting. I don't have the guts to do the tech stuff yet, but I absolutely love getting to host and talk about things to people. Anybody who caught the Breath of Fire run last night knows, boy, I can talk for an hour and it seems like it just flies on by. So let's get this boss fight cleared. That'll do the pendant trial, and that'll be our win condition right here.
Okay.
Who's going to be our boss fight though? Who's going to be on this nice little bridge? It's going to be a Balrog. No, it's going to be Hecarim. That's okay. We're going to be doing some magic to Hecarim. Really goofy side sprite. Love to see it though. Thank you for
showing our backside now.
Exactly. Don't have any double attacks, but we do have haste that we're gonna put on Magus. 3,000 damage. Yeah. Isla has no magic attack whatsoever, so Isla's just gonna stand here going, "All right, pretty cool."
Yeah. So unfortunately, the buffing of Isla just not working out for this boss fight at the end of the game.
Not really. No. Definitely going to be healing, though, with the Kiss tech. It heals conditions, which is not going to be an issue, but also just heals quite a bit of damage. We do want to see Hecarim targeting Isla, though. Might as well use her as a meat shield right now.
Yep. Those pretty good heals, though.
Oh, yeah. Reap the benefit of reducing the flashes right now. That one and Luminaire, just absolutely terrible on the eye. Okay, thank you for attacking Isla. 191 damage. It's a lot of damage, but we're gonna make it. We're doing what, 400-ish damage a turn?
Yeah, you're about 10 hits total.
Anybody who grew up in the 90s, maybe this is a me thing in my household, but when one of us would play, we'd absolutely break out a calculator and go, okay, you did this much damage. All right, you did this much damage. Add it up and do all the math, and then go, okay, so the boss has at least this much HP. I don't know if that was just a us thing growing up, but that was always super fun. You're like, okay, well, you did, 2,000 damage to this boss, so maybe it's 2,000, maybe it's just under, who knows? It's at least that. This is long before, like, you had trackers and things like that, where you're like, right. You're like, break out a pen and paper. For some older games, it was graph paper to make maps of games. Alright, that was Hecarim. Hecarim inexplicably is gonna destroy the bridge, but not today. We win. Like I said, that takes us straight into the credits. We get to listen to the credits while going through this amazing music. So yeah, I guess it's time for the shout-outs and things like that. If you like watching randomizers, you like speedruns, you like listening to my lovely voice, you can absolutely come check me out at twitch.tv/DerricGNC. Do a lot of Chrono Trigger, a lot of Earthbound, Breath of Fire, that sort of thing, something like that. Go check out the Jets of Time community on Discord. I believe you should also be able to find it. Might be mentioned somewhere on SRC, or you can go to jot. Let me find out. I had it memorized. It is ctjot.com to check out the randomizer. JOT for Jets of Time, CT for Chrono Trigger. But yeah, thank you so much for Gamers Against Cancer for having me here today. I love getting to do such community work and getting to raise money for such an amazing charity. Also, big shout out to Saber for hanging out, doing some commentary, getting to host with me. Appreciate you. Look forward to the Worlds Collide at the very end of the marathon.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that. That's going to be an amazing run. I cannot wait to see it. I appreciate each and every one of you hanging out this early in the morning, or just early for me. But yeah, big shout outs to my community. You guys are excellent watching me play this game so much. Non-stop. In fact, one of the community members, Tylen, is there in chat. I'm making a video all about the army, and I appreciate him so much for that. And so is Nix. Appreciate you. Otherwise, big shout out to my wife. Behind the scenes, never on stream, but takes our kiddos out and does things with them so I can do such things like this. So the house is a little bit quieter and things like that. So big shout out to my lovely wife who takes our kids out and does things. So we can do things like this for fun. Other than that, I think that's all I got. This has been me, DerricGNC, and this has been the Jets of Time Randomizer. Wolf, what do you got? Or Saber, what do you got for us?
Oh, well, thank you for joining us and helping us try to raise money for a great, great cause. Once again, we're doing the Gaming for Hope Gamers Against Cancer Marathon here for Stand Up to Cancer, which funds and develops the newest and most promising cancer treatments to help patients today. Stand Up to Cancer innovations and connections to scientists leads to a better cancer prevention, diagnoses, and treatment, which means that we can help save lives right now. Progress against one type of cancer is progress against all types of cancers. That's why we're committed to funding ambitious and robust research and awareness efforts focused on incorporating health equity in cancer care for the benefit of all patients facing cancer. 100% of your donations today will go up to support the Stand Up to Cancer Fund and its collaborative cancer research programs. Once again, I am Saberwolf. I want to thank Derek once again for joining us here on this great event here. So we got coming up next, we do have some Pokemon. Got to catch them all. Pokemon Red, 80% glitchless blindfolded with Shifty that's coming up here in just a little bit. Also, again, want to remind everybody about that FF6 Worlds Collide. That's my group coming up here at the end of the event. It's going to be about 5 o'clock p.m. because we're running a little bit ahead of schedule. So right around 5 o'clock p.m. It's going to be 6 runners with a whole cast of couch and trackers. We have 10 people showing up to try to put this thing on for all you out there, and I'll be in the background. I'll be the production crew kind of in the background trying to get it going. So yeah, I hope you enjoy that event. But up next, Pokemon. Gotta catch them all. I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.
Bye.